Howdy, folks. Today we're looking at Fantastic Four #1 from 1961 in Marvel Comics, albeit in facsimile form because I'm clearly not made of money here. Believe it or not, our specimen today actually counts as the first comic I ever read by either Lee or Kirby. When I first got into Marvel way back at the dawn of the Pleistocene, the first book that captured my allegiance was the Fantastic Four. Well, technically it was the Silver Surfer, but I figured out the connection pretty quickly thanks partly to a mom who had purchased the classic Silver Age runs off the stands at a local cigar shop as a teenager. The first year I was really into superheroes, I asked for the first run of Fantastic Four in the form of the Marvel Masterworks collection for Christmas, and the rest was history. It's a strange book in hindsight, full of sharp elbows and trauma. This is the team at their genesis right after the accident that bestows their powers, and they still don't know how to work together. They were just friends prior to the disastrous rocket flight, but now there's something more. Clearly a kind of family, even though the heartache of their transformations remains a close wound. The meaning only deepens as you learn more about the circumstance of its creation. Both Lee and Kirby were by 1961 enormously frustrated with their lives and careers. Lee wanted more than anything to taste the literary success that he felt was already growing beyond the reach of his capabilities, while Kirby had spent the previous 7 years losing everything he'd built in the preceding decade, and was desperate just to keep a roof over his family's head. Kirby hated Lee specifically for reasons dating back to the early 40s, and Kirby's first departure from Marvel over the dispensation of Captain America, and especially resented the man for providing a lifeline in a time of systematic collapse across the comic book industry. All these emotions are right there on the page as the two collaborators somehow struck a bonfire by adding up the sum total of their professional and personal disappointments. That's why this early run of Fantastic Four is still such a jolt. Compared to anything else on the stands at the time, this was a book explicitly about tragedy, disappointment, and tension. A story about people who kind of hate each other, forced to come together for survival.